The Audible High School Football Friday is on. Joe Rose, Kimbo Camper here with you. We're on South Beach, Joe. South Beach for a little high school football action.
Can you believe that?
No.
Well, we've been a lot of places.
That's right.
I've been to South Beach, but not for a high school
so we
football
got
game.
Beach High at 3-3. We got Columbus at 6-1.
Columbus got
this
a nice
is
team.
8A district game. Big
That's right.
game for both schools, but certainly a big game for Columbus. And Joe, whenever I come down to Miami Beach, or whenever I always wonder. I think, how can you have a good high school football team when you're on South Beach? South Beach doesn't. You don't. When you think
that's a great
South
question.
Beach, you ain't thinking good football, right?
As close as this field is to trouble,
Yeah.
it would be no shot.
It's about a block and a half away from
Yeah.
trouble down here.
People spend a lot of money to come on vacation down here,
that's
man.
right.
And here we are.
But I'll tell you what, it's nice down here. It's a nice little stadium here they're playing at.
What's up with you and the weather, what you've done for us, man?
Hey, just good weather every time.
We
Just
had great Friday
follows
nights.
me around. Usually I got that black cloud
That's
following
on
me
Sundays
around.
you've been having that,
Yeah,
not
well,
Fridays.
The last 2 Sundays, have been very, 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 very dark. We'll talk about that. But, Joe, another game, Miami Beach at 3-3. Just kind of, they're getting better than last year. New coach, been here for a couple of years, trying to get this program going. But Columbus has been a powerhouse for a long time, and at 6-1, they're looking for a district title. They're looking for running a state championship and the whole thing.
You hit
which
it
is
there, Bo.
what those schools are all about.
Everybody thinks they might be the team to beat
Yep.
in 8A. By the way, there's another matchup that they could be matching up with. Great game up in Broward tonight in the 8A. Western with 1 loss.
Yep.
Plantation, Steve Davis has done a great job. His team's undefeated.
Yep.
Playing at Western High School tonight. That's
Should
going
be a
to be
good
a
one.
fun one. And
Yeah,
they could play each other in the playoffs.
Western made a nice run in the playoffs last year, the coach, and we were there
story. Great
for
story.
one of the games. Really good story there out of Western. And Joe, as we've talked about it, we talk about it just about every time because at one point, either you or I bring up the transfers and all this and that, but you like those schools like Western because they're local schools. They're not grabbing a lot of guys from everywhere else. They're playing with the guys
Unless they can get a
live in
couple,
there, if
right.
they can.
Yeah.
If they can, no, but it's not the garden spot for people to go.
But I think he's built that program
Yes, he
up
has.
now where for
Kids will
years
stay.
we used to laugh and, Western,
Yep.
let's play Western. Everybody's homecoming. But he's got a serious program
Yep.
now. He's done a great job. By the way, American Heritage Plantation, Cardinal Gibbons,
Yep.
about 5 minutes away up in
Yep.
Broward. So some good high school
I'll
football
tell you,
all over
I went
tonight.
that playoff game last year between those two.
Might
And
have been the
boy,
best
it was
game
some
of the year.
fireworks. It was amazing. So Cardinal Gibbons just jumped all over him from the beginning, and then American Heritage just kept coming back, and
great speed.
and win the football game. And a lot of athletes on that football field that night. It was really, really a good night. Hey, let me remind you, the Audible High School Football Friday is presented by our good friends at Nike. The season has arrived. It's time to get the latest gear. Check out Nike.com for more. I got my Nike gear on, Joe.
Yeah.
Always carrying the Nike
By the way,
gear around
these
with me.
Nike shirts, hey, Nike, I just want to shout out to you. This is some of the best work you've done. These shirts are just beautiful, man. Keep up the great work, Nike. My name's Joe Rose, XX. Thank you so much. You're beautiful.
Always a pitch for something free from Joe Rose.
If it's free, we'll always take 3.
No doubt about it.
No question.
It's that radio. If anyone's been in that radio business, if it's free, give me 3. Is
You
the rule
become a
there.
little sleazy. Is that what you're
no
saying,
doubt
Bo?
about it. No doubt about it. Hey, I think we got the head coach here, right?
We got Chris Merritt.
Merritt with us from Columbus. Columbus comes in at 6-1, and Coach Merritt, long time, man. You've been there for 22 years at Columbus. 21 as the head coach. You spent a lot of time there, my man.
18.
18. Well, I'm going by my my fact.
It's been a long time.
All right,
18,
You have to
21.
get my fact checkers
21 overall.
involved in this.
21 overall.
They told me you look older than that, so they added a couple more years onto that.
Appreciate
Did
that.
high school football make you look older? Every now and then?
Depending on teenagers to pay your mortgage. Adds a couple.
Coach, big district game for all the district games are big for you because you want to get that district title and get that chance to move on through the playoffs. Your team at 6-1 playing a beach high football team here, 3-3, but it looks like a program that's on the move, moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's district competition in Dade County. They're going to have athletes on every team that we play. For us, it's not necessarily Miami Beach. We're focusing on ourselves.
Hey, I told him earlier, I was over here talking to Coach, I said one of the favors for 8A, some of his coaches go great. You guys said that last year, and you never know what's going to happen in the playoffs, which is true, by the way. Somebody gets hot, and all of a sudden they upset you. You feel pretty good about this team overall, though, where you were from a year ago?
Yeah, I think they replaced the 30 seniors that we lost. We've got 45 now, and the kids are determined. We refer to the right hash at the 1 yard line often. That's where we ended our season last year. that close. And we know we let an opportunity slip, and that continues to bite us. So we think about
And
it.
Mario Cristobal's kid out here on your football team, big offensive lineman.
Yeah, his nephew.
Yeah.
Lose a captain for us.
Not a bad. Listen, I got bad news. I got a bad information on your length of time, and I got son of Mario Cristobal.
Must be Twan.
Don't matter.
Am I getting my information from Twan?
Hey.
Am I getting my misinformation from Twan?
Twan's not here, so you take all the shots you want at Twan.
Well, let me give you this one. One thing I got here: you played football in Europe and you coached in Europe. Was that with the NFL Europe over there?
I wish. No,
Yeah.
it was the opportunity. It was a club team over there.
Yep.
The NFL Europe took them over. They became the Hamburg Sea Devils,
Yep.
but I spent 7 years in overall.
And how was that for you?
Food was great.
Yeah.
Loved just being a coach.
Yeah.
No academics, no, the other stuff. But had to grow up and make a real paycheck and came home.
Coach, I love this story because I always tell the guys on the bus, Bo's heard this. Bob Griese always says, "Hey, how's Coach Merritt doing?" And then he tells the story. Talk a little bit about that interview years and years ago. Bob Griese, one of the great quarterbacks to ever play. He's asked by the school to come in and do the interview process for a new head coach.
Well, I was 31 years old. Was at a small college in Pennsylvania in February. I was about as pasty white as you could possibly be. Showed up at the interview table, and there were 9 people at the table. One of them, the last one being Mr. Griese, obviously. And I don't remember the other 8 questions because they're each allowed to ask one. And then he took over, and I'd say for the first 30 minutes of the interview, I was puckered up. Having that voice ask me questions about the sport of football and coaching that I knew that I couldn't.
Yeah.
You can talk to certain people certain ways and make them believe, but
And Bob's a serious guy when he gets to that kind of business. So.
Yeah, he was all business that day.
Yeah.
So what was that? What was that like going through it? Was there any point you said, "I think I got a chance"? Could you read Bob Griese going, "I got a chance," or are you ready for him to pull an audible on you?
Well, the pivotal moment came at the end of the interview when he referred to my education and having gone to Purdue University, where Bob's from, and the big rival was Indiana. He took a shot at Indiana, and I had to take one like a champ. I just smiled and bit my tongue, and I thought at that point I thought I had the job or this guy is a piece of work, and maybe both. I don't know.
A little of both.
It is. I think after all these years, a little bit of both, right?
Hey, Coach, you're a member of the USA Football. You're a regional master trainer, and that means you're involved with USA Football, tackling, teaching, all those types of things. And look, certainly tackling at every level has become paramount in football, safety and all that. How do you guys go about getting all that?
Just overall education, safety. It's not just tackling and concussions. It's everything that's involved with being a football coach. And it's my hope and desire that we get to licensure. I don't think that anybody should be able to go to Dick's Sporting Goods, buy a whistle, and get the title. I think that you got to be educated on certain things, and I think we're moving in that direction. But I owe more to football than it owes me. I think everybody at this table is the same. We all got to be where we got to be because of the sport, and we got to take care of it because it's in trouble right now.
So, Coach, what are the important issues that you guys are dealing with now? We talked about tackling. Tackling has become a big thing at every level of play. Certainly at the NFL level, a little less at the college level. Certainly the high school level and the youth level changes. Well, what are the changes that you guys are trying to implement to make it even more safe?
Well, it's just the overall verbiage in coaching. The things that even my own father as a coach would tell me, for example, put your hat on the ball, bite the ball. These are things that I was taught. It wasn't that my dad didn't like me. He didn't realize that when the first time I missed a tackle, what's the first thing he yelled at me for? Drop your head. But you told me to bite the ball, put my hat on the ball. So it's just the verbiage. It's how. For me, it's more important. It's not what you teach; it's how you teach it.
Yeah.
And getting youth coaches and high school coaches the ability to have the verbiage and the library of drills to refer to at all times. I think that's the key.
Yeah. It's fun because I think I grew up with ear hole 'em. Hit them in the ear hole.
Yeah.
That was the target area. And now you look at what it's come to. The thing that amazes me, and you're intimately involved with this, and I watch it at the NFL level, is how these players have been able to adapt to these rules quickly. I mean, in the NFL during the preseason, there was a number of penalties for having your head up or wherever they want it now these days. But now you don't see them anymore. They've adapted really quickly. And I watch these tackles. They've got their shoulder in front. head below the neckline, and they're doing all the kind of like the old tackles that you used to,
Right.
back in the day. So
Right.
you're seeing it. You're seeing it come to fruition faster than I thought it would.
Well, being a football coach, I was always, I guess, conceited, arrogant, thinking that nobody else could teach us how
Yeah.
to do our sport.
Yeah.
But then we referred to, because I didn't think that rugby-style tackling was going to be effective for us, okay? So, but then I realized that in other countries where rugby's top, like South Africa and New Zealand,
Yeah.
it's illegal to tackle above the
Yeah.
waist before the age of 12. So they, without equipment, they're going
That's right.
all the time.
Yeah.
So, that got me to change my mind on it. But listen, the sport's evolved over years. Face masking used to be legal. I used to teach horse collar tackle as a way to secure the tackle.
Sure.
Remember when the quarterbacks couldn't be hit below the waist,
Yeah.
how much of a stink that made?
Yeah.
You don't hear about it anymore because it becomes part of the sport. And that's
Yeah.
what's happening.
Well, the one rule right now is protecting the quarterback. You see it, and we still scream and yell every time. It looks like a great sack, and all of a sudden there's a penalty and fresh downs. What do you think of that rule? It's been the hardest one for the NFL to adjust to.
I just think you're putting more into the hands of the referees. Now if you think you've got him sacked, you let him go, the play continues.
Right.
There's some of those cases that
And
have
those
happened.
big guys get away. The Cam Newtons of the world are
Yeah.
big, strong guys.
Coach, let's get back to your game tonight. Beach High coming in. What are you concerned with about them?
Well, they've shown a lot of things defensively up front. They're very multiple in what they do. We don't know what we're going to get tonight, so we're going to do the best we can to even them up and play fast and lock them into one and just go, worry about us. Defensively, they're very multi-formational. We've got to find out where the best players are and take the ball away from them.
Coach, we're just talking about this. You look at this thing, you're one of the favorites for the 8A. How do you feel about as you look at this team and you're aware of the competition in Broward and Palm Beach and everywhere else? You feel pretty good about this group overall going forward without the injury bug?
Well, I think we've got a shot. We've put ourselves in position. We'll be a 1 or 2 seed if we are able to win out. Gables is always going to be a tough game for us, but once that comes, it's week to week. We don't look past. I don't even think about Broward County to the 4th round. So,
Chris, wish you the best of luck tonight. Thanks for stopping by.
Coach, thank
Pleasure,
you.
and keep up the good
Appreciate
work
it.
over
Great
here.
stuff.
Tell Bob you said hello.
will do. Please do.
I'll tell him you said he was an asshole.
No, just a small asshole. He didn't say big asshole. He said small asshole. That's all he
I
said.
didn't say big. You brought that up. You added that to the
He's
lexicon
laughing.
there.
Coach walking away laughing. Way to go. That's real nice on this show that we're saying that
Chris
stuff.
Merritt, I tell you, what a program he's
By the
put
way,
together over there.
he is a hell of a coach.
Yeah, continues to keep
He
that thing
is
going.
really, really
17
good.
years, 18 years, how long he's been there. I'll have to get my fact checker in here and
You were close on some stuff, though. Don't worry. You get to 18 years, it might as well be 21.
Coach Merrick has been coaching for 22 years at Columbus.
Well, he's assistant maybe or something. I don't know.
Well, no. 21 of those years as the head coach.
Oh.
It's the information I got.
Who are you going with?
Who
are you looking to
I got
blame?
Louis Cristobal, son, O-line, son of Mario Cristobal.
Okay.
Not the nephew of Mario Cristobal.
Mario's still the head football coach at Oregon.
He's at Oregon.
He got
no
a
doubt.
nice little team, too.
Yeah, he's up.
Been
up
a
in
nice
Oregon.
story, for sure.
All right, so a Beach High team that kind of just struggles through this district. Tough district to
that's
be
a
in
tough one,
with
man.
these guys. You got these guys, got Coral Gables, all
Tough
those
one.
schools. They're very, very good
Coral
schools. to
Gables
deal
been
with.
great through the years.
Yep.
This Columbus program, he said it. They're going to be a 1 or 2 seed in the whole state.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's from Tallahassee down. You're going to get a chance to be a 1 seed. But I think after last year, they got upset by Miami High. That there's a little different. Be careful before you get ahead of yourself.
Coach Joe, let's kind of switch gears before we get the head coach Rod Williams from Beach High. The Dolphins this week, boy, you look at this injury list, and it's almost everybody's on that injury list. But they got the Chicago Bears at Hard Rock Stadium, first of 2 home games. I've been on the road for the last 2 weeks, get 2 home games back to back here. For the first time, it should be nice to be home for a couple weeks. But you look at it, and I guess if you want to look at good news, A.J. Derby, his foot he practiced. He was limited, but he's getting closer to coming back.
Right.
I think Cam's getting closer to being the Cam we know. I
think Cam's out maybe one more week.
I don't know that he's going to play this week. The other thing, Bobby McCain practiced limited Friday.
Could be back
doesn't mean
next
he's going
week.
to play, but whenever
They're
those guys,
getting closer. It's
whenever they
good.
get in the practice field, they're getting close, and that's good news for Bobby McCain because he was playing so well for this
I
football
watched
team.
Andre Branch run before the game last week.
Yeah.
Well, I could tell he was
pretty
really
close.
So
pretty
hopefully
close
he plays.
they were working him out to see if he
could use another pass rusher
use
in
him.
there.
But the interesting thing today, he was full practice Wednesday, Thursday, limited Friday. He's questionable now. Ryan Tannehill. I would expect Ryan to play, but he's listed as questionable. And whenever you got to downgrade from full practice to limited practice, certainly something you got to think about. But it's shoulder situation, and I just don't see him missing that thing.
Well, you know what? If you can play,
you're going to play.
I mean, and I'm not going back to the 80s where we all, you know, no matter what you played. Those guys need to be able to play. If they can play, Bo, I mean, it's home games, and these home games are hard to win. You need to play if you can play. You're playing against a real good Chicago Bears team, could easily be undefeated, and they got a damn good defense that we'll be talking about.
Let's get Rod Williams, the head coach at Miami Beach High School here.
How you doing?
Rod, how you doing? Kim Bokamp, nice to see you, man. Pleasure. Rod, second season at Beach High last year. You go 2-7. You're 3-3 so far this year, and it is a program you're trying to build up and get to the point where you can compete for the district championship out here.
Yeah, it's definitely a program, a growing program, developing a new culture here. We got a couple of good kids here, young kids, so it's something to look forward to for the Beach alumni. Something to come watch.
We're always talking about this. How hard is it over in the Miami Beach area, South Beach, right around the corner, calling? I can almost hear Club Live right now, Coach. I mean, how do you go about overcoming that?
It's so much going on other than football. The kids are involved in so many other things. We just try our best to stay on them and make football important, connected to the academics, and that kind of helps us out.
Yeah, it's like I said when Joe said, I can imagine, being a coach down here at South Beach on Miami Beach, with all those things going on, different distractions and everything, and all that goes on. But looks like you're doing a good job getting their attention, get them going. What do you guys need to do to be the type of football team that you want them to be within the next couple of years?
Yeah, well, we preach one step at a time. That's our plan. Again, we won 2 games last year. We're at 3 now. We know this isn't an overnight thing with the kind of teams that's already established here in Miami.
Yep.
It's just going to take time, and we're preaching time. We're preaching one step at a time, and that's just a part of what we're going to do, man. We're going to take our time and try to get this thing going right so it can be long-lasting and not just a one-year thing.
Yep. Coach, you got some big guys. We're watching them warm up. How's your team's speed overall?
Wow, we have a couple of juniors that can fly. The big guys they're pretty good, but the younger guys are really good. We're just kind of waiting on them to kind of come into their own. But overall, we're a lot better than we were, and I'm happy about that.
You run that spread option or the spread offense. You try to take advantage of some of your speed.
Yeah, we're trying to get our guys to the edge and just let them go run and play.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Let's talk about Dade County in general. You must get asked when you go outside the 305 playing that schedule. Forget games on the outside. Huh?
Oh, wow, man.
It's hard to get through an easy schedule, isn't it?
Oh, my
Starting
God.
with maybe the best team in 8A tonight.
Yes, it's I've coached in Tennessee and in Georgia, and Dade County is second to none. I mean, and you can't get around playing these good teams. You just try to get in there and give them all you got, and hopefully one day we'll get to where they are.
Coach, before coming to Miami Beach, where were you at?
I was at ASA Miami Junior College.
Yeah.
Before that, I was at a college, Lincoln University in Missouri, and also at Fort Valley State. So I've been around, and I was a head coach in Tennessee and Memphis. That was my first head coaching job, and I moved on to college from there. But I'm back where I love, back in high school football, where it's genuine. You get a chance to be involved with the kids off the field.
How different is the high school football down here than what you were used to?
Oh, man. Tennessee, we can't run like these guys, and in Georgia, they don't have as many guys that can run like these guys. Yeah. So it's good football in other places, but, I mean, it's absolutely here.
Yeah.
It's something to see.
By the way, not a bad facility.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah. This first time we've been down here for a football game.
Right.
This isn't bad living for this football field.
Absolutely.
Huh?
This thing can get rocking, too. We just got to give them something that they'll be proud of, and it's really a really good spot.
How's school spirit? I always wonder when,
Yeah,
is it getting better? Is it something growing? Or?
It's growing. School spirit is not bad. It's really good at Miami Beach. We just have to get the football and the alumni guys in terms of football back involved, and they are coming back around. and we love that. So that's helping us out as well.
You getting Chad Ochocinco back? That's entertaining
Hey, man,
by itself.
if he's watching this, we need him back around.
Hey, Coach, say big offensive lineman. That's kind of what you're banking on right now.
Yeah, we're gonna ride them guys. We're gonna ride those guys. We're gonna ride number 5, Ricky Wright, who's a junior. That guy's awesome, and we'll see what happens.
You play a game like this group tonight. Everybody knows how good Columbus is. They're going to be 1 or 2 when it's all said and done in this ranking going into playoffs potentially. Is there how do the players talk when they get ready to play a team like Columbus that wins so many games every year? You worry about guys being
Oh yeah. You're dealing with kids at the high school level. One thing we've talked this week is let's remain optimistic about who we are. Let's talk about who we are, not so much about Columbus. And let's go out there and get to the fourth quarter and see what happens.
You ride the wave. That's your motto, right?
Absolutely.
Ride the
Let's
wave.
Ride the wave. That's what we're going with.
All right, Coach. Wish you the best of luck,
Thanks,
man. Have a
Coach.
good one
Thank
out
you
there.
so
Nick.
much.
Try to knock up that 4th win tonight.
Coach,
It'll be a
honestly,
nice
I just
one,
was going to tell you, Coach, you look like you're about 20 years
I
old,
wish.
Bo.
You got to get close enough to see the grades.
Well, if you need anything, I'm using some stuff right now that's killer. If you need any of this stuff, I'll talk to you later, Coach. Get you on that jet black.
Put some on you, make it look like you're 15 years old. Girls in high school be after
Hey,
you
man,
again.
this stuff's good for any age, Bo, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he's got his hands full tonight. This is
That's a great attitude.
it is.
I mean,
But what are you going to do? You know, you
got to show them,
your
hey, guys,
second
let's
year
go
here.
and play hard.
Yeah.
What do you got to lose?
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Somebody's taking your lunch money, you're good.
So, Joe, let's get back to Sunday. Dolphins, Bears. Bears defense, Khalil Mack, he's a man out there. He's a monster out there.
Probably defensive player of the year right now.
And you've got to find some way to double him, to chip him, to get a back on him, to do everything you can. They can't let him be the guy that determines the outcome of this football game.
If you lose because of his play, shame on you and your coaching. And the players, by the way, not just blame, but the whole thing. Well, I'll tell you, just think about this the last 48 hours as we get closer to the game. The Dolphin offense and Ryan Tannehill, he's got to play better. What he's done the last 2 weeks is not good enough.
No.
He needs to step it up. And defensively, well, the part that stuck in my gut, and I think stuck in your gut a week ago, defensively and special teams, you can't play any better. Matt Burke, it might have been his best game as a defensive coordinator, what he put together.
The blitzing they put in, the stacking the safeties on the line of scrimmage, the run defense, they did a lot of – you know, Joe, the thing that got me after the game, flying home after the game, getting up the next morning – is, you kept A.J. Green out of the game for the most part.
Minka Fitzpatrick
he had 6 catches for about 112. Had
No
one for
touchdowns.
20. Had for 1 for 22. That Minka was right there.
Right on him.
Just
Can't
went up
play
and
any
got it.
better.
But you kept him out of the end zone, and which is you go to play A.J. Green. That's if you can
The
keep him out
wide
of the end zone.
receivers didn't have a touchdown.
And so that's what kind of bothers you. You do that. You do what you think is probably the most important thing in that game to win, and you end up losing the game, but because you turn the football over. And you just didn't protect the ball. Didn't play well enough at that spot.
I think you and I agree on this. Defense can't help you, and special teams can't help you when you turn the ball over and their defensive scores for 14 points.
Two
in the
of them,
fourth. Because Bo, I don't like to see even if you can't score, get any first downs. Get a 60-yard punt or a 58-yard punt or 55-yard punt. Put your defense back out there and let them win or lose the game.
So the other thing that, and look, this is It's a 6-1, half dozen to the other. You're right if it works. You're wrong if it doesn't work. 3rd and 1, Joe. 3rd and inches. And I'm just sitting there going, geez, 3rd and inches. I watched Tom Brady do the quarterback sneak every time and get it every time. And I'm thinking our guy's bigger and stronger than he is. What happened to the old, start calling your thing and just tap the court center in the butt and let him snap the ball and get it.
Whatever gap you want to hit, that you can hit it.
Instead, you go from 3 inches back to take the ball back about 7 yards deep.
And throw a 50-50 ball.
Throw a ball up there. And now, look, granted, you had Albert Wilson crossing. He got caught up in the wash. He got caught up and knocked off his route. That takes him out of it. There was somebody there Ryan couldn't run or probably wasn't going to get there, and so you got to go deep.
Fake it. Make him come up and tackle you.
Yep.
See if somebody opens up. That throw percentages, I'm being nice at a 50-50 ball. They're both pushing and shoving each other. I just didn't like the
thing
call.
The thing that got me, Joe, was at that point of the game, it was more about getting time off the clock, moving the chains. And look, if you get you get the big, you get the big touchdown, and that puts the game away. I understand that.
Right.
I do understand that, but that time, we're wrapping up the whole. We're going to, Joe, they're getting ready to do the national anthem, so we're going to wrap up the show.
All right. Hey,
How's
we're
that?
done. It's been great being with you, Bo,
Hey,
again.
Been a pleasure. Should be a good game. Starts at 7:30. If you're interested, still got time to get here. And, hey, we'll see you again. God bless America.